this might be why Skarner Gwen has been first rotated by a lot of teams and not really worked out. We were thinking that maybe that's it. It's the Gen.G mind control with like, yeah, no, it's really good.
Guys, you're not Gen.G, okay? And that's okay. You don't have to be Gen.G. We've seen teams who are not Gen.G beat Gen.G. It's happened. There are occasions this has happened.
Yep.
But don't try and be Gen.G, okay? That is the worst thing to do against Gen.G, because Gen.G are more Gen.G than you are Gen.G, and they'll just out Gen.G you. So
yep. You just need to be the best DN freaks that you can be. Don't be an attempt at a Gen.G.
And you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to win this series, but a game goes a long way when you're currently at minus 18 game score.
Yeah, I mean, any upward momentum would be good.
The less down
definitely be good.
So we'll see what they can do. They are on blue side again in this situation. Ultimately, I don't think, you know, there was a couple of things I wasn't super keen on the draft, but I don't think the draft was a problem at all. So we'll see what they manage here. It's going to be Vi Surgicalist again banned away.
Yeah,
James Pantherundable again. This time, though, looking at that Azir, and the Talia's gone from Fearless. So don't have that to counteract. And also the Corki as well, another pick that you could definitely see Chovy picking into the Azir, has been taken off the cards. Looking for a Neferi is one of those priority junglers remaining.
Yeah, Neferi Ahri could be the rotation here. We've seen that be the most common pairing. I would prefer Neferi Akali, just because that'd be fun. But I'm not entirely sure what Chovy wants to do, and it looks like the Ahri is going to be the way, sticking to the meta. And maybe you can't really blame him. Look, he's veg. It's a bit veg.
Maybe if you were Zeka, you'd be getting the Akali.
Yeah.
But Chovy, you know...
They haven't been doing very much ego drafting over the side of Gen.G. You know, they keep it business.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I think as well, that's more what we get from HLE, doing a little bit of that. We do see the Wukong, not too much of a surprise, given how we've gone down the priorities in terms of these junglers. Sion going to come through, though.
Oh, Keen, you got that cat in you? Well, we're just going to get out of the draft completely. So never you mind. What's your favorite Mel Brooks movie? Do you want me to give you some options?
Okay.
So there's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another, The Producers, I think is what it was called. It was also a Broadway play for a while. Pretty sure that was Mel Brooks.
Gonna go with Spaceballs.
Spaceballs? I still think that Men in Tights is my favorite. Carrie Yules, you know, from Princess Bride.
Yeah.
He was like the greatest heartthrob in comedies because he was just so dry, so incredible. It's like you never really knew whether it was a joke, but it was. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Dave Chappelle's best.
I feel like we've taken a lot of inspiration in the casting.
VHS tape is. As we're back into the draft, that might save me from the old. And he does have the cat in him. We've even got all these bands done. Okay, so never mind. It wasn't a redo on the draft. We just left. And we just spoke about Mel Brooks for a bit, and then we came back. And it's Ruler playing Ezreal, and we've got the top lane Nidalee into Sion situation. It's not Zeus, but it is Keen, and I'm still scared for the DN Freaks.
It's a great Ezreal spot, you know, into Wukong, into Sion, into Azir. They really pose a limited threat into an Ezreal. That Arcane Shift given so much value.
True.
A hard team to pin down. Those are 4 champions. If I'm playing Sion, I'm kind of scratching my head at how I'm going to actually connect my Q onto them.
Oh, Young Frankenstein is what I missed. I am sorry, everyone, but I'm glad that I'm sticking to my ways. And back into the thing. We do have Berserker playing the Lucian. We saw the Braum work out for Beryl earlier on today. Life going to try his hand at that particular combination.
Strong front line for the DM Freaks. A lot of bulkiness, a lot of tankiness. But yeah, I think Gen.G, you know, they have the lane matchup in the top lane they're pretty happy about. Very hard to pin down some of these carries. But to be honest, I don't think it's a draft that I feel really bad about for DM Freaks. I think it's very playable. But again, if I felt more favorable at the Game 1 draft, and that didn't go well.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that... that sounds like
it ended in a hospital trip, so...
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they made it to the hospital. As we are going to get onto the Rift here for game number 2. We'll see what the DN Freaks can do it. All right, so Twitch chat is trying to convince me that it was a plane and not a car. So I feel like I'm getting even more baited this time.
Yeah.
Or Like maybe they just wanted to one-up the car guy, as now Duro's coming on over. Berserker is able to just get away, so he's just going to be fine.
The thing is, well, I assume it would be a smaller plane. You know,
we're still on that. Yeah, I think that's the more important debate to have.
You're not eating an Airbus.
Yeah. Yeah, like what kind of, like, is it a paper plane? Because like I could do that right now.
No, I feel like it'd be one of those, you know, one of those like small little solo pilot, you know, those light little
that's
light
cheating.
planes.
You know, that sounds like that's entree.
Yeah.
Oh man. What about an aircraft carrier? No, that's a boat. That's a boat. That's different. That's carrying the planes.
Well, we've talked about the prospect of the air and the air and the car being eaten. What if they're into seafood? You know?
True, you know, like maybe just that would be a better one if you've got a different idea, and it's a big undertaking. You know,
that's
you
the
have to
question.
be committed.
Was this the first one he ate, and he was like, "I'm doing it specifically for the record," or does he just eat them, and then he was like, "Well, I guess I'll collect the record now."
Yeah,
know?
maybe they offered him the record afterwards.
Yeah, maybe it's like.
Maybe you just want to, like, sometimes
like,
you want to be the one person that's done a thing.
They're like, "Congratulations, that's a Guinness World Record for eating a plane," and he's like, "A Guinness what now?" Got a mouthful of wings.
Yeah, he's got like the propellers going in. Oh no. Okay, well, Chovy and Bulldog are laning to bring it back to the game just for one moment.
This should have been on topic if there was Cho'Gath and a Corki, you know?
I know, we should have actually, should have done the last game. At least we got halfway there.
Yeah.
Whoa. No, never mind. We're not going to go there. Okay, Pioshik walks over, I think, some vision moving down towards his bottom side, but it looks like full clears are just on the way. Both of them going to be ending up here on this bottom side of the map, though, as we've got Duro and Ruler pushing up into Life and Berserker. And DN FREECS, come on. We just, like, it's already been broken, right? We're not going to get the full 6 gamers over and over again because DK won a little bit too comfortably against BNK earlier on today. But DN FREECS wanting to continue on the upward trend, right? This game number 1 really was not giving us too much hope. Neither is this top lane situation. As Keen doing that thing where he just takes grasp stacks over and over again as Duro makes his way in. That is a lot of power. Decent answer back, though, onto the now very squishy Rel after the Aftershock wears off.
Yeah, I don't think engaging into the Braum Lucian is how you really need to play this lane out. It's one of these situations where they can't engage on a U, and Ezreal can kind of just chill and poke. And then if anyone ever dashes forward, that's when they get punished. So Duro testing that and finding the answer very convincingly.
Yeah, let's see whether he's actually learned from that one or whether we're going to be crashing down once again as Ruler able to arcane shift away. And it looks like they are just going to go for a refill.
Yep.
Lane not in the best of spots, but
it's not going to freeze, and it looks like DNF is going to push it out, so it's pretty fine overall. Dudu having an unfun time.
Yeah.
I honestly, you know, I'm going to say it, I don't even think the Scion is like that awful into the Nidalee with regards to stuff you can pick, because at least you're useful later. You can weather the storm. And like the example we got was Zeus into Rich, and he just didn't hit the wave, right? We all remember that.
Yeah.
Like there isn't many picks that you're going to be able to take into the Nidalee. They're going to be fun. But I think there's picks that are a lot worse than Scion, where like you're playing a pick that wants to get the ball rolling and you just don't get to play the game. Like you're not going to be able to do anything to Nidalee or Scion, but if you play it well, you're not going to die.
Well, we can see here that Kingen and Zeus have both been running amok on this one, as Keen might just get solo killed. Does have the Primal Surge, though, so he is not actually going to get solo killed. I got baited there a little bit because I was a little worried.
I think Dudu might be a little bit in trouble.
Yeah.
There to help him out. It's actually important that he got that trade on the Keen, because now I think Keen's a little low to go for this dive.
A little bit harder to dive. It is Canyon on Neferi, though, so he does have the ability to say, I don't really care about turret aggro, but there are no minions. So just Keen farming more grasp stacks. Dudu wanting to go home. Get me the heck out of this lane, please. As Canyon gonna wait for the back to come through.
Dudu
cancelled it.
What?
Oh no. Oh dear. Well, Dudu is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Canyon going to pick up the turret aggro. A couple more might be taken here as Canyon's gonna have to get out of there. Keen doesn't get the turret back though, and now Dudu is just kind of walking around wondering when he's going to die. The answer is not yet. A plate goes over to Keen, and Gen.G's still kind of happy with it, but Dudu will survive.
I really thought Pioshik just betrayed his top laner, but apparently he was like, you got this, bro. You're good.
And Dudu did.
Yeah, a lot of trust. More trust than I had.
Yeah, me too. It's still kind of a disaster, as we can see. 17 CS is the gap. As Spear connects, Pounce going to come through. We'll see whether the takedown is actually going to be enough here, as Keen doesn't have a whole lot of health. So Dudu does have the ability to outplay this.
Yeah, you can see he's trying to bait out the shield and try to find an opportunity just to finish him off. But Dudu does manage to survive. Will recall now and TP back in. Again, down in farm. This is how it's always going to go into the 80 Nidalee whenever you're playing a melee champion. But it's a Scion. You're a lower economy top.
You don't care, yeah.
You don't, well, care a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't care as much.
It also, like, I feel like it would be bad enough if you're just, like, getting out farmed and harassed, but it's ever, like, look at those grasp stacks, man. Doesn't it get to you?
A little bit, yeah.
It gets to me. Like, I see it and I'm like, you can't do anything about it. And Dudu wants to stack his as well. And it's just not really a thing. As Goshik, he's actually spotted here, as the Rel also pops out of the fog of war. Now going to go for the flash engage. Goshik, no chance, although is able to get the Warrior Trickster off, gets himself out of there. Life might be in trouble as Ruler is going to dash forward, but it is just going to be Gen.G saying thanks for the leash. And True Shot Barrage just to make sure that there's no one hiding in the shadows. So there we go, Gen.G going to be able to grab that first objective. Dragon going over their way, and no first blood just yet.
A little bit for them. Oh, Bulldog.
Okay.
Yeah, it is, yeah. A little bit of an ambitious Dragon take from Pureshik there. Didn't really have the setup to go for it, and Gen.G set a pretty nice trap. Don't manage to finish off the Wukong, but do manage to pick up the Dragon themselves, and they will definitely take that now.
Isn't it cute that Keen's using Canyon's skin, but they're in a different lane?
Yeah.
Kind of like that on the same team.
Showing a lot of respect.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like they're cats and dogs. This is the cats and dogs matchup.
That's cats, dogs, and foxes?
Oh, man. It's a menagerie. Cats, dogs, foxes, metal legs.
Oh, on the other side,
metal horse. On the other
side,
there's a horse?
They have a beard and a monkey on the other side?
Yeah. Oh, man, it is a bit of a menagerie style of composition. Unfortunately, you know, Lucian and Braum just people. And Scion is kind of like, I don't know, the creation of someone. Bit of a Frankenstein-y type situation. Wasn't it Swain? Was it Swain in the lore made Scion? I'm trying to remember. It was one of the Noxian bad guys.
I don't know, and also, it's hard to know, right?
Well, like, what is even true anymore?
Yeah, they changed a few things recently.
Well, Life is just going to wander in and just show Canyon the chimney. Canyon says, do you have Smite, though? And he says no.
Because wasn't it, didn't Jason Victor originally make Blitzcrank, but that's not a thing anymore? Or maybe it is, or I don't...
They might have made him in a different dimension.
You know what? I used to know what the lore was, and then they kept changing the lore, and now I don't know what the lore is anymore.
Well, you should have just paid attention as it was changing, you know? That's,
you know what?
I don't know what to tell you.
We haven't read out lore on stream very much recently, and that's probably why.
Yeah, there is actually maybe like room to get some lore in this particular matchup.
She was on the show yesterday when KT
Hey,
won.
that's true. That's true. She wished me a happy birthday today as well.
That's really nice.
It's all right. Life will just tell Duro to leave and stay in the brush. Life enjoying it there at the moment. Zerker actually farming quite well, but Ruler is going to take a fair bit of damage. The Shattering Strike just a little bit too good. So the disengage.
Oh, Berserker just missed a cannon.
Oh, dear. Oh, and Ruler's going to get his as well.
That's
to add insult to injury. All right. Maybe it's not lore time, though, because it's not, you know, it's only 500 gold. Yeah, there's a dragon, and there's some grubs that went over to Gen.G, but there's at least one grub for the DN Freaks.
Yeah.
And there is a Hex Flash, because Duro can. Shattering Strike's pretty good there as well. As the dash forward, crash down is good. As True Shot Barrage comes in, Arcane Shift actually picks up the kill. That is novel. And Life is also now dead. Yep, that's the kill going on over. So a double kill in 2v2, not too bad there for Ruler and Duro. As Keen getting pushed away, he might be dead, does manage to surge himself back up to some health and then just pounces his way out. Goshik now is going to die as Canyon throws the ulti in, and Dudu not going to have the damage to stop him. And he's just pretty sticky on this doggo. Still the turret not going to be enough for, sorry, not going to be something that Canyon can fight against. Bulldog gets a plate, but it is, I spoke too soon.
Yeah, or maybe you spoke at the right moment, because that was the last moment you could speak about that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So whose lore do we want to learn about? Okay, Chovy is not going to quite find the charm. Maybe it's not time yet. Maybe, well, like, when is the time to bring out the lore in this series?
You're the lore master. You're the expert. It's your birthday as well.
Oh, that's true. Do I just get to decide the timing on everything?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I feel like I'm being given too much power here.
It's one day. Well, what's the worst you can do in one day?
Oh, is that a challenge? Oh, dear.
Okay.
All right, let's have a look at this. This is like, as I was talking about it being an even game, the caster curse comes in, and I need to apologize to the DN Freaks.
Yeah, Duro baits in Berserk, and as soon as he dashes in, goes for the CC chain. And because of the CC initially, Life can't get the shield up in time to block Ruler's ult. And just easy cleanups. Lucian Braum into Ezreal. Rel, you really should not be getting 2v2 by like that. That was just an outplay from Ruler and Duro.
Oh, Keen was just trying to avoid getting crashed into. Look at this. Hops out of Cougar form, gets the tiny little Primal Surge that does not really do too much.
It's like 20 HP at one point.
Yeah. Frustrating there for the DN Freaks. You can see the fans feeling the same way. One objective, and then Gen.G will have cooler shoes. Or not yet, because of course there aren't any Stage 2 boots completed yet, but Dudu is just farming behind the turret. He's like, if in doubt, boss, let's go. And Keen, not actually too psyched about that. Would prefer it if the Scion was actually honest laning. So this is kind of cute. Dudu actually figuring it out. He picks up another one. If it, you know, keep him guessing. Which turrets am I going to be in between?
It's easy strategy. No grasp stacks for this, Nidalee.
Nope.
Well, other than like the 100 she's had already.
Yeah, yeah. But not anymore.
Yeah.
Look, there's a cannon.
There's a cannon.
There's a pedal.
Oh, he's not going to be able to get there in time. He can't TP to pick it up.
Kane, get the pedal. We can see it on the minimap. He gets the pedal. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Look at that.
And that is that only pedal.
Oh, Duro could be in a little bit of trouble here. Does get divided emperorally. Not sure about that one. Flash over the wall though from Duro gets him out, but still, that is a long cooldown.
Yep. Does unlock his Hex Flash though, again.
Oh, true. Maybe it's just a positive. That's why he's emoting.
Yeah, he knows.
Oh god. That's cooldown optimization there from Duro. Here on Gen.G. There's Canyon. Just getting into position to try and make something happen, perhaps, as Dudu. He just wants to get to his turret, guys. And you know what? He'll get there. Charm comes on through. Trophy picks up turret aggro. And Duru's coming on in. If this doesn't work, then you just invite the metal horse. And Dudu goes down. Oh, wait. Oh, Duro is going to get taken out. It's a 1-for-1. And Dudu is a happy zombie.
I think Canyon getting aggro there would have been optimal. You can drop it with a W, but also he has Shojin. He's actually pretty tanky already for an Theory. But so an answer back. I think Dudu's pretty happy with that one, all things considered. Pretty hard to avoid dying in that gank, but at least getting something back is nice.
Certainly is. As that is feats of strength going on over to Gen.G. You can see Chovy with his Boots of Lucidity upgraded somewhat now as well. And he's going to be able to take down the first turret. So theoretically, a full monopoly on the feats, but we don't see the first turret one going on over. I kind of would like it if you still saw it. Even though feats of strength are done. Like, I hate that it sort of stops counting them, because I like knowing who gets the first turret, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I mean,
I get to see it this time.
We can't just see it's Gen.G for the first turret.
Well, I mean, that's only because DNF have no turrets taken. As soon as they take one turret, how are we supposed to just know?
I can remember things that have happened previously.
Oh,
I guess for someone tuning in. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes you need to go off and get a sandwich, and then you come back and there's 1-1 on turrets, and you're like, who got the first one?
True.
So there we go. There's my little bit of feedback here. It's my birthday wish. Can we just have first turret remain in the game?
Okay, I mean, you got the barrel interview on the space.
Actually, yeah, my birthday.
You know, how many birthday wishes do you want?
Yeah, no, that's my bad. I don't want to be greedy. As all right, crash down onto life as the door is there, but he can't put it all around him, unfortunately, and so he's just dead. Ruler going to be able to pick that one up, taking down his former teammate.
Yeah, you don't want to sound like Dudley Dursley.
No,
Last year, I got 37 birthday wishes.
Oh, that's true. Man, that frustrated me when I was a kid reading that book. I was like, 37's enough. I'd only complain about 23. All right, Canyon going to be taking the Rift Herald as the entire map belongs to Gen.G is what it kind of feels like right now. 4,000 gold plus is actually the lead. And there are bounties up already. Yeah, it feels like the game wasn't that doomed and then became really doomed.
Yeah.
All right, so Law, let's see where Sion comes from, shall we? So you take care of the play-by-play, whatever's happening. We do know that.
Oh, Reptile's gonna go in, big slam. We'll see if they can get another charge.
Oh, beautiful stuff.
Oh, Charm comes through. It is shield up Rom, so a bit of a struggle, but more damage coming in. Will jump away and survive that. Ult comes in from Kyoshik. Magi gets some damage down, but a disengage from Gen.G keeps him safe.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to stop you there. He's a little too talented, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm getting jealous, so I might need to keep focusing. No more play-by-play for you, Daniel Orcs Harrison.
I've stepped over a line on your birthday as well.
On my birthday, just making me look bad. And all I wanted to do is provide you with some lore.
I'm sorry.
Not fair at all. Oh, very nicely done, though. Really glad that we had someone to step in there while I was focused elsewhere. Apologies to G-Sun. I will pay as close attention as possible. Now we've got people going for a reset, and so I will go back and just try and have a look to where Swain actually is right now. So take it away, Orcs, as we're going to have the replay break down your beautiful play-by-play from before.
Yeah, a bit of charging coming in, trying to find some more, but it's just difficult really to make any of the damage stick here. Again, this is kind of the problem with the composition from the DM Freaks, is that Gen.G are so slippery. Every single person on that team has a dash in that kit, and right now, with all 5 of them having flashes, there's no easy option to take out.
Well, Dudu doing some honest laning once again, but does have Bulldog alongside him. Let's see whether they can get themselves some of this bounty gold. It looks like Keen will be giving this one up. And Chovy, only a Sun Disc to deal with there towards the bottom side. Ocean Soul, not exactly the most pivotal, as Duro realizing that he has to get the heck out of there, but Concussive Blow's not going to work out. And Arula just denying as much farm as he possibly can as he takes down an inner turret. Emperor's Divide finds the air.
You know, you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah, and you miss the ones you miss as well. Did you know that?
Man, the DM Freaks need to be hitting some shots.
Oh dear. All right, did you know that Sion was a brutal warlord from a bygone era?
Well,
that sounds like Mordekaiser as well. Why does everything go back to Mordekaiser lore?
I tend to let bygones be bygones, so I didn't know that, but thank you.
Do you let them do that in an era, though?
Sure, I'll allow it.
All right. Okay, he was revered in Noxus for choking the life out of a Demacian king with his bare hands? My goodness, this is kind of brutal.
I didn't know Sion had bare hands.
And then he was resurrected to serve his empire once more, but who was he resurrected by? That's the question. I don't know. I'm going to have to read about Swain, see whether it tells us there.
I thought Udia was the character with bare hands. I didn't think Sion had bare hands. That's what's so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just left. I could have checked the spelling. I just didn't really see it there. Oh, no. I tried to get to Swain, and then I got a 404 error. Oh, no. The lore's getting retconned as we speak. Oh, no!
It's a Noxian plot to hide all the lore, you know?
Oh,
they're
come back!
More devious.
Swain! I just want to know. Oh, there he is, there he is. Oh, my, no, it's actually gone. It's actually, he's being retconned right now. I cannot access it. I cannot access the file. We need to get to the mainframe. Do you have any hacker friends?
Of course I do. I was born in the 2000s.
Everyone's a hacker these days.
Well, I was born in the 90s, but I was alive in the 2000s, you know?
So was I.
Yeah, but that, you know, that was the big thing back then. Yeah, anyone in a hoodie was a hacker.
I know. And it's like the Die Hard films all just turned into like, you just need to have a hacker.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like old people being annoyed at computers. I love it.
Just typing and then, I'm in.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, so much of that. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, the word hacker is just kind of annoying now.
Yeah.
Because I was watching there's a film recently came out. It's got a lot of incredible actors in it, done by the same people that did Kingsman. And I think they say hacker in that. I'm like, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
The word hacker right now.
Oh, but then they're going to do that thing they did with the zombie films.
Yeah.
Where they don't want to say hacker, so they say
something.
With.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we've got a team fight. That's a nice Magnus Storm here from Duro. Shattering Strike, a lot of value. No one dead just yet, but in and out goes Gen.G. As True Shot Barrage doesn't find the mark. Canyon is just going to cut them down, though, and my God, the blender that is Gen.G is pretty frightening. And it's not even like good news for Dudu, who's outside of the fight. He's dealing with Keen this whole time.
Kind of just decimated them. Yeah, Dudu, he's just having his own little time against Nidalee. Not too fun, but more fun than the rest of DNF are having. Yeah, they did that with zombie films. I think the market got a little... Oh!
Okay, there's a crash. All right, King gonna get knocked up. Remember, he can just pounce away at any time.
Oh,
and he does. Dudu could have flashed after him, but he didn't know it was there.
He had to follow, and also Keen has flashed, so...
Yeah,
I feel like the market got a little oversaturated, so they started calling them, like, walkers and... Like, all sorts of different... Just anything but saying the word...
Yeah, it's like you couldn't say zombies because they were trying to make, like, realistic zombie films.
So I feel like they're going to end up doing that with Hacker, where they're going to be like...
Computer find your outer guy.
You know, if they use that, that'd be peak, honestly.
What about E-Detective? We're going to need an E-Detective for this one. It's Veronica Mars' daughter that's going to do it. Veronica Mars, fantastic show, but definitely is a little bit older, and it probably would be an E-Detective that they'd need now as Chovy over the wall. A bit of a jump scare there for Life, who is just dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting, his name is Life, and yet he has the most deaths.
Ironic.
Yes.
Some could say. As Dudu, roaring like a Slayer, but he's otherwise not going to find too much. It's a 2-level lead here for Keen.
He's kind of vibing, though. I'm going to be honest. Dudu on the Scion, if you ignore everything else in the game, he's having a good time, you know?
He is.
He's just kind of walking up the Nidalee and saying...
Holding his own.
Yeah.
Spinning around. Look at that.
That's aura right there.
Yep, he's
got places to be.
Oh, he's starting a team fight. Let's go. Okay, never mind. Not starting a team fight.
He's like, I'm the carry, guys. Don't worry. I'll be there in a second.
Well, he gets a shield. Look at that. Perfectly utilized the shield to absorb Ruler's damage.
He does have an unending despair. Like, the healing value you get from that would be pretty good if the fights went over in 3 seconds.
Yeah. All right, well, there's a flanking teleport from a Nidalee. I don't know necessarily what that means. But with the amount of money Gen.G has, probably not great things for DNF. As Life, okay, avoiding a fair bit, but will get charmed up. There's Orbit Deception there as well as Canyon and Keen. Oh, the cats and dogs are so incredibly frightening. There's the first kill, and there's a whole bunch more as Ruler is just going ballistic. The doggo as well. Dudu is trying to run away. He liked it more when it was the 1v1 against the Nidalee in a side lane. As he's like, yeah, is this what's been happening around the rest of the map? Oh dear.
This is just pristine top lane experience. You get counterpicked by a ranged top laner that you can only describe as cringe. After playing your lane out as best you can, trying to pick up some farm, you realize the rest of your team is a combined 0-13. And the game is just over.
It definitely is just over. I think, is it Kion that came up with Firewall Tickler as a hacker name?
Lord of the Pings is
Lord of the Ping. Digital Locksmith feels a bit real. Actually really like that. Kion, that's some good stuff. We should pitch this. Charm gonna come on through. Emperor's Divide doesn't do enough because the Nexus explodes. And Gen.G will pick up the 2-0.